it's Aaron and Simon with Assets and Arbitrage. Today is Memorial Day. It is the last day of our wonderful 3-day weekend. Everybody got to go back to work tomorrow or back to whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing tomorrow. Normally, I'm all dolled up for you guys, but I'm in the kitchen cooking. The house is smoky.
Yeah, so we got a grill out there. Then we're going to head out to the mezzanine and enjoy this barbecue that my wonderful and beautiful wife put together. Me, I don't eat meat too much, but I will take a little bit. It seems pretty good. I taste a piece. I said, "Oh, that tastes pretty good." So I will indulge in it too as well. So like as she said, she'll be up and down cooking, back and forth cooking, as I should say. And I'm, we're running the show. It's easy breezy. It's a holiday. We're not going to, go in too deep. We're going to talk about a few things. Everybody knows, Memorial Day. Back in the day, it signified the first day of summer as far as city pools will be open, right? Remember that? And, that's when, people start going back to swimming and having a good time. And the women could wear their different dresses now. It's the sundresses. What we wearing now?
Sundresses. Sundress season.
Sundress season. So that's cool. That's good for the women. If you sundress ready, then you can wear your sundresses. But sometimes it doesn't matter. But anyway, we got to go into this today. We got to talk about what Memorial Day is, right? So what is Memorial Day that we get this extra day off, this federal holiday, federal banking holiday? For those who don't get it off, you're getting time and a half or double time, depends on where you work at. So, everybody looks forward to it for that. But we got to really talk about what it is, why it came to be. So Memorial Day is very important to me. Very important to Aaron. See, we're both veterans. We are veterans who served in 2 war campaigns. We're highly decorated veterans, right? And so we always think about those who served before us. So one of the people I like to just always highlight is my father, who served in the Marines. He served in Vietnam. Staff Sergeant Reginald Earl Simon II.
Well, Junior.
Junior, as I say. But we have a third, which is our oldest son, middle son.
So many children.
So many. So,
baby number 2.
Yeah, so my father served in Vietnam. He served 2 tours over there. And we want to remember people like him who served and may have passed and served who may have died in combat. And we want to always remember these people because it is very important with things that they did and the things that they did for this country. And, and it's always something that we need to think about instead of just thinking of it as a holiday and a day off and, a time for people to turn up. Right? So I go here. So this is the flag. It's a folded flag, if you can see it.
And you can tell we've had it for a very long time.
Folded flag that I received at my father's funeral 17 years ago now, right? Mm-hmm. And, we keep it, and we keep it in a very safe place, right? It's an item that we
cherish, I guess.
One of our treasured items we have. And for my veterans, I understand it should be in a flag case, displayed in a flag case.
No, we don't have that case.
It was many years that it was displayed in a flag case. But in our move to Mexico, we were unable to take the flag case. And I spent a long time trying to find a new flag case, and there are none. There are none that will ship here. And here in Mexico, that's not something that they do. So it's not anything that they have on hand and that you can get. So until I can find a new flag case, we still display it as this. All right. And one last thing, and then we'll get on with the business. We have this here, plaque. I don't know if you can see it. Mm-hmm. It's a plaque you receive upon death. So I'll read the plaque. The United States of America honors the memory of Reginald E. Simon Jr. This certificate is awarded by grateful nation in recognition of devoted and selfless consecration
Consecration.
to the service of of our country in the
Armed
armed forces of the
forces.
United States of America. And then it will be signed by the sitting president and the president of the United States,
That was Bush at the
George
time.
W. Bush. Now, I'm not caping for George W. Bush or anything like that. But see, it's the difference, and the people who serve kind of understand the difference of being a civilian and being an active duty member. Because when you're an active duty member, the sitting president is the commander in chief. He is the highest ranking person in the military. So you must treat him with respect and speak of him with respect while you are a civilian. Is that true? Am I missing something?
When you're active duty?
Yes, I'm talking about active duty.
Yeah, but none of these people are active duty.
No, I'm just speaking. So I'm just saying I'm not caping for George W. Bush.
Oh, gotcha.
But when we served under George, we served under George W. Bush.
Right.
Is what I was trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was the commander in chief, and he was sitting president, and the two war campaigns that we were in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, just wanted to give a shout out to Memorial Day, all those that serve, and all those who are serving today,
Mm-hmm.
active duty. So, there we go. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
So, do you want to wait for more people to get in the room? They're getting close.
No, it's about 17. But I mean, we don't have like a super structured show. I titled it Let the Summer Shenanigans Begin because that's what's going to happen. Today is the first day of summer shenanigans. Not the first day of summer, but the first day of summer shenanigans. People are hot. Muggs is already out with their summer dresses. People are out barbecuing, doing stuff, complaining about the heat and the rain. But summer is a good time because we always use the terms like the dog day of summer,
Yeah.
right? It gets to a point of what we would call almost monotony. And I personally think it's a good time to sit down and start planning the things that you're trying to get done, all the productive things that you want to begin to work on, that you want to initiate, right? We're supposed to be initiating emergency funds. We're supposed to be budgeting. We're supposed to be reviewing our household budgets to see is there more money that I can use in order to invest in either Bitcoin or precious metals or whatever other coins that I participate in.
Yes, because you must be stacking, stacking, stacking. Stay stacking. Bitcoin, precious metals, or whatever else, like she said, you may be invested in.
Right. But the idea is trying to find ways to make more money with the resources that you already have, right? What does your Amazon spending look like? What does your Sheen spending look like? I don't know what guys spend money on. What does your Jordan's budget look like? Do you need a new pair of Jordans? Can you take that whole stack and half it Bitcoin, half it precious metals? Just kind of re-looking at your behavior, which is why I use the word shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
This is a time to examine your behavior to see what you can do to get you to that up leveling we keep talking about. It's summertime. Many of you are going to be wanting to travel, right? And we're talking about this is the first time somebody has probably put you on the game to travel with intention. If you have 2.5 weeks of vacation and you know you're flying out somewhere or going someplace fantastic, you've been waiting all year long to get to, maybe spend a week of it in leisure and spend the other week doing something productive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some type of intention to your trip, getting something done. And that way, when you come back, you do feel like you've gotten a lot done. You don't need another week of vacation to kind of
Yeah.
recuperate from the 2 weeks vacation you had and wherever you went, whether it's Bali or Morocco, all these great and fantastical places that people love to travel to. Add some intention to I'm going to literally say it, but add some intention to your life,
Yeah.
right? There's a lot of us who are just responding, not even responding, reacting to each day, each moment of the day, everything that this is day to day to day to day. I'll react if something happens
Yes.
versus taking control of that and establishing your days with intention, establishing your trips with intention, establishing your summer with intention. July 1st is going to be here before you know it. What does July 1st mean? For those of you who have been doing your productivity, you know that July 1st is beginning of quarter three. Year's almost over. Half the year gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's May 27th. I know June 1st is literally later on this week. 6 months gone. So whatever you said you was going to do in January, did you even get started?
Right.
Have you gotten anywhere? Can you look at your stack and be like, my stack is way higher than I possibly thought it could be because I was productive,
Yes.
or because I was disciplined this year. Like I
Yeah.
was serious. I set my intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Any other reminders?
Oh yeah, if you do travel with intention, I highly recommend that you document that travel of intention. So you can videotape it. If you have someone with you, they can videotape, video you, and that way you can go back and look at it, and it give you that reminder when you see it in video in real time. Look at what you were doing while you were there. Look at the people you talked to, and it gives you some. It gives you a little bit of a little, just a little burst. And you're like, okay, yeah, we doing it. When we go to travel intention, like you said, like she said, I'm sorry, half a week of leisure and then half a week of intention and really getting there. And when you travel with intention, safety is paramount. So you have to make sure that you are safe. Travel with a guide if possible. So we've been different places and we've come across different like drivers and people like that, and they'll be like, and we say, hey, we would like to go see, something of the community, not the touristy stuff. This is when we were a little bit younger, and we would try to get out of the touristy area, and then go with the guide to see, maybe some of the neighborhoods, the vecindades, the barrios, because we did most of our traveling through Central and South America. So, you can get with the guide, you can get with a paid guide. I see a lot of people on YouTube, they just go ahead and do it themselves. And, I don't know. I wouldn't suggest it unless you are versed in, moving around, traveling in the places where people live. Right. And so, it's all important to travel with intention if you want to start getting your five flag theory together, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do that, you want to see different places, but you got to see how it would be to live there, because it's two different things to visit and then to live there. You got to get a feel of like, where's my everyday coffee shop, or, where do I go to the dry cleaners? Where would I have breakfast? Where's my market? Things like that. Where's my barber shop? Where do I get my nails done? All this stuff, and you would have to check that out because it's different to live there and figure out the day-to-day things you need to do, as opposed to, as you would say, just visiting. And then, yeah, it was nice. It was nice. The weather was nice. We did a few nice things, and then you're out of there. You really don't understand how it is to actually live there.
Right.
So, make sure you do your reconnaissance, as we would say. Do that so that you know what you're dealing with. And if it's actually, because this is expensive. When you travel somewhere, it's expensive. Let's be honest. So when you go there, make sure you get everything that you need to know. Take notes, like I said, document it, like film it.
Mm-hmm.
Take notes, film it, so you know that you got the information and you got everything out of that intentional trip.
And we want to kind of come out of I'm going to call it flexing. We want to kind of come out of the do it for the gram culture, right? Where everything we do has to be, we have to show everybody that this is what's going on. We have to show everybody this is where we are. If you're going to take that intentional trip, I'm not saying don't post anything on the gram. I'm not saying don't post anything to Facebook,
Right.
but don't take pictures for the sake of posting it so that you can flex on your timeline, right? Do something for yourself. You spend a lot of money on your trip, like you said, that's an investment. And you want to ask, well, what was the return on my investment?
Right.
Outside of the leisurely travel, which really lately has turned into sex tourism, food tourism, and drinking tourism. Right?
Sounds like fun.
And I mean, if that's what you're into, okay. But establish some trips during your year that are for some type of business, some type of productivity, some type of reset, right? Where this is leisure, but this is a reset, right? This ain't party and bullshit. It's a reset. I'm going to come here. I'm going to hang out by maybe the peaceful sea, and I'm going to work on my business plan, or I'm going to work on my budget plan, or I'm going to work on my finance plan. I'm going to work on the business that I've been thinking about. And it's just a way to say, maybe I've come out of the airspace that I'm in the most. Because, like I said, if you guys watch the movie Lucy,
Yeah.
at the very end of the movie, Lucy was trying to find Morgan Freeman, and you can see all of the matrix around her. And that was very telling. She was kind of going through the matrix looking for his vibrational frequency. I don't have to decode the whole movie for you, but she was looking for his vibrational frequency. She found it. She knew he was at the library, right? Because she found this vibrational frequency. He was talking at the library, yada, yada, yada. Point of the matter being, in the scene, everywhere, like I wish I could find the matrix filter. You would see the binary code falling down, falling down. You are constantly bombarded by broadcasting, by sound waves, by all types of frequencies, music, talking, anger, violence, anguish, sadness, grief. I mean, I can go on in what you're surrounded in. And sometimes it's nice to pull yourself out of that, because when you go to places that you are not from,
Yes.
you're not from that place, you're not of that place,
Yeah.
that frequency falls off of you like water on a duck's back.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't affect you. And that's why you notice that people, when they leave their countries, always do way better than the people who have been there. And people feel like, oh, that's not fair, that's not fair. There is a metaphysics to it, right? You're not of that place, you're not from that place. So the matrix in that place isn't able to suck you in. It isn't able to
Yes.
envelop you, right? So this is why a lot of times when you go on vacation, you feel like, man, I had so much clarity while I was there. I could think.
Mm-hmm.
I had these great ideas. I met these awesome people. Life always feels great when you go on vacation, and that's one of the reasons, right? Because you went to a place where that matrix doesn't bombard you, doesn't envelop you. You are not a part of it, and you can really get stuff done. And the Bible showed you that over and over and over and over and over and over again. Every time God took somebody from their place, their land of their fathers, their forefathers, and he mentions it, he says it over and over and over again, to the land I will show you. You're going to be blessed there. There's something to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to definitely take advantage of it. Like I said, today is the first day. Let the summer shenanigans begin, but let them be good shenanigans. Let them be of good report. Let it be something that you can benchmark in your journal of up leveling.
Yes.
I find it odd that not a cousin has commented in the chat, and I'm wondering if my chat is even working. It's so weird that there's 25 of you and there's not one comment. That's
And one thing I forgot to
weird.
mention, but she may have went over in general, is networking, right? If you're serious about this place, you might want to network with somebody like real estate agent, something like that. Friends you met there, people that you can keep in contact with, like say, I'm really interested in this place. You can keep in contact with those folks. And so networking is very important. If you're really thinking about going to a place, grab up those cards, stay in contact on social media. What I say, like real estate agents, lawyers, the type of people in the community that you're thinking about moving to, maybe not permanently, even if it's a place that you go to 2-3 months out the year. Still, it could be a second home because you go there, over 3 months a year. So traveling with intention also, it depends on your situation, right? It goes all the way from, being single to, being retired, having family and children. So there's different things in different places you'll be looking at. That's why no one place probably has everything that you want, but still, that's why looking has looking and traveling with intention is important. And you can also, like I said, you can go on YouTube, you'll find a whole bunch of YouTubers and bloggers who will take you through almost any place that you type in. And you can get a sort of a kind of a feeling for the area and the place to see if it's something you like as they go on and explain, how the people are, how they're treated, how the food is, the accommodations, the weather, all these things that matter. To people. Also, age appropriate, or if you have chronic illness, this also matters because you need to have availability to good health care. So that is a big deal. So you go check it out. Just make sure it has health care that you're comfortable with, and that is a big one there, especially for people with chronic illness. What else we got for travel with intention? The community. I think you should be meeting the locals, see how they are, see how they live, see how they treat you. All these things. Yeah, the locals. Being amongst the locals is very good. See how they live, get a vibe on their lifestyle, and also some of their what do you call it? Some and customs and courtesies.
Customs and courtesies, their
Yeah,
culture.
yeah, their culture. Get a feel on that. Learn some things of their culture, and it's fun. You learn some very interesting things. You eat some very interesting food. If you're that type of person, I'm not. I just want to stick to the basics, right?
Yeah, and because you guys are, a lot of you are diehard crypto, check out where the meetups are. Go to the meetups,
Yeah,
practice your physical, social networking skills. You would be shocked at how rusty you can get when you spend a lot of time virtual, right? Go to the meetup, see what's going on, what their Bitcoin centric vibe is in that place. See if you can learn any new projects or anything like that. You want me to type?
I'm just gonna type boom just to text it out.
Yeah, I don't know if the chat's even working because it's weird that I don't think it's working.
Why you couldn't put that in there?
See what the Bitcoin centric vibe is in that city. You would be surprised at how things work, maybe the lack of education that it's a lot of, we can't see any of those.
Let's go over there.
Oh yeah, everybody's in there. I don't know why our chat's not working, y'all. Courtney Johnson, Crypto Hoops, Crypt Work. Have you guys seen Hidden Colors? Yes, we've seen all of them, and our children have seen all of them.
We use it as curriculum. So you got that's something there. And you can use it as curriculum, man. Tariq Nasheed dropped it on them for hidden colors, especially four. Four was the one.
Um, Sorry, y'all. Let me just play around with this because it's not working like it should be. Courtney Johnson, he is drinking.
Oh, where you at, Courtney?
This is the latest refinement of the Simon Family Investment Venture tequila.
Yeah, I was working a little bit earlier, so the missus took a little bit off the top.
No, she
But
didn't. Don't listen to him. She did no such
we still
thing.
here. We still here though.
If she takes a shot of that, she's ready to go to bed. So it's still very strong. I'm worried that
Muy
you
fuerte.
can remove paint with it. Is my concern.
It is muy fuerte.
Muy fuerte. Crypto Hoops, Crypt Work. Yep, we've seen Hidden Colors. Hi, Michelle. Hi, sweetheart.
Hello, Michelle.
Crypt Work said Happy Family Memorial Day, everyone.
Yes,
BK Crypto said, boom. Guess who stepped in the room? To Cal. I wish somebody would finish the bar when he writes boom. But we have time, y'all. We have time. She said, I need one of them. Not yet, Courtney. We ain't trying to
That's fine.
I ain't trying to kill y'all.
That's fine.
I'm worried that there may be a lawsuit if
Awesome.
we gave that out like that. Like this had the whole entire city of Cincinnati lit, and we are suing the Simon family. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Great.
I'm worried about it. And honey, he's drinking it. I'm like,
It's a holiday.
y'all take this back.
We celebrating the ones who are not here. So
Yeah, I need my dexterity
thank
and
you very much.
coordination in order to cook with hot flames. So I think I'm good. I'm drinking his. I poured him a glass of Sprite to,
Yeah, it's cool.
but he's not drinking it. So,
Yeah, it's cool. I like Sprite.
and you
It's
didn't
all
drink
right.
any of it.
I took a sip. It's a little cold.
I'm drinking it. I put ice in it.
Yeah, but when I go from that to that, whew,
Yeah, fire water to ice cold soda.
yeah.
But we just wanted to, we're not going to keep you guys too long today. I know usually we have really long shows, but it's Memorial Day. I'm cooking. I need to cut these peppers and these onions up. Do you
Yeah,
want me to grill them?
yeah, that sounds good.
I'll grill them.
Yeah, and I'll go a little bit longer with you guys just on the intentional traveling. If you guys have any questions or any ideas you think,
She's asking if you're doing a reposado. So the one we're doing is reposado.
reposado, yes, yes, indeed. You got the
She said he
reposado.
need a water break.
Why do they? What you mean? They take you out
Because
the.
I said, I think it can peel off. I think I can mop my floors
There you
clean
go.
out.
Yeah, they need to take me out the game, give me a water break. But yeah, traveling with intention is very good. And you don't have to go far. Like she said, Bali. That's a heck of a trip. But somewhere closer. A lot of people like Mexico, and I will say that I do suggest Mexico because it still has first world comforts and things like that. They cater to the United States citizen, so you'll get a lot of English speakers in these places if you don't know the language off the jump. So that helps. And then you can kind of, it's like dipping your toe in the water. You can kind of see it from there. Mexico is, no, not till the kid, not till they come home. Mexico, like if you go to Mexico City, you will have a lot of people who speak English, and that's helpful. And helpful because when people don't speak your language at all, you really can't get anything done. I mean, you can point, you can do a little stuff, but you don't want to do that your whole trip. You want to at least have somebody who speaks English, somebody who can, translate it to you. This is very simple things, and so it makes you you're not as timid or scared to move around and check different things out. Uh, Two, it's close. It's close, right? So I don't know where everybody lives, but it's pretty close. You can probably get a flight from Mexico City Airport to wherever you need to go. Yeah, sometimes it might be longer than you like, but it's a big airport. It goes everywhere. They call them shuttle bus, especially if you live in places like Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. Get those shuttles. You get those shuttles over to Miami, Orlando. These places you can get back home fairly quickly if you need to for an emergency or anything like that. And the tickets don't cost very much. So that is good. You at one day emergency, you say, man, I got to go. You still get a fairly cheap ticket. So you keep those things in mind as you will be moving around or spending time in another country. Another thing that I cannot stress this enough is if you're going to Mexico, I'm saying Mexico now, but if you go anywhere,
Cheers.
um, really try to get into some contact with people of influence of that community,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even Mexico City, big as it is, there's still smaller communities within Mexico City, right? So try to get in contact with somebody who has some pull, so you can talk to them.
That's
See
hard
what
to do on a short term trip.
this is true. This is true. But if it's something you're continually doing, like okay, I'm gonna be here, and then you can try to talk to somebody like a real estate agent or a lawyer.
Yeah.
Those people right there. You don't have to get to the top right now, but stay in contact with people like that through social media. Those that way, when you come back, at least you know those kind of people. You know those people, not not the party, like you said, and BS type of people. And,
Right? There's a time for that.
yeah.
There's a season for everything,
Hmm.
right? And everything in its season. So you can do your hedonism trip, right? Good, cool. But make sure that in your next booking, there are people who take 3, 4, 5, 6 cruises a year. You'd be shocked that that's what they do.
Yep.
I just read a post on my timeline. There's a young lady on my timeline. She just got off the boat at 8, took care of everything she needed to take care of to get on another cruise trip
Yep.
at 11. So there are people who take multiple trips, and I'm just saying, if you're the type who plans multiple trips a year, have like your category of trips. This is my girls trip. This is my business trip. This is my let me explore where I want to retire trip. Let me explore where I want to spend quarter 4 of every year trip, or maybe quarter 1 of every year trip. Like kind of categorize
Yeah,
the
but
types of trips that you're taking.
yeah, but I'm gonna come real with you. If you guys are serious about it, man, you get rid of them guys trips, girls trips, them cruises and all that. If you're serious about it, you would make it all about intention and getting this done, because that's how things really get done. You know, you see people who are uber successful, they don't mess around with stuff like that. You know, they get into it. They make sure they get stuff done
And he's
in
not
the
talking about
season.
entertainment because I know y'all gonna.
Entertainment? No, I'm talking
I
about.
know somebody in the comments gonna be like, Diddy was making albums and terrorizing
No, I'm talking about
people.
regular business class people, blue collar people, hardworking people.
Yeah.
You know, you put some of the stuff to the side so that you can really focus on what you really want and work on it and work on it till
And
you get it.
chisel away at it.
Yeah, so how many guys trips do you need to take? You took one last year. You took one the year before. All right, we got it. It's done. It's been done. Let's
Do something
zero.
new.
Let's zero laser focus on this, and then you can get something done for real.
Let's do something new
Right.
to get new, significant, beneficial outcomes.
And do it with discipline, right? And just be focused on it. And also, it depends on how you got to do it. Get your money together. Make sure you putting your money together. Focused on handling this business, right? And so, yeah, I'm not trying to play nobody out, but I'm just saying we done this before. We done. How many cruises you gonna take? How many buffet lines you gonna stand in on a cruise?
A lot.
You know how many times you gonna do that and overpay for drinks and all this other stuff? Man, get on your business. Get on your business, and you will see. You will see different. You will see significant change. Link up with people like us. So, I know somebody in Mexico City. Then we already can help you boots on the ground when you get here, so it's not such a shock, right? Because Mexico City gonna be a shock. It's like New York City. And for people who didn't live and been in New York City like that, it's a lot of hustle and bustle. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of
And noise in a language you don't speak.
Yeah, Mexico City is one of those places where, like New York City, people ain't gonna speak to you like that readily.
Yeah, it's not. It's cold.
Cats is just walking. They get to their spot, point A to point B. So you got that.
It's cold.
That's why you need maybe a guide or somebody with you, and to help you with that, and to help you with the offset the coldness.
And unfortunately, it's a lot of people who do approach you, and they approach you with foolishness.
Oh yeah, they do that, don't they? And so, linking up with people on Facebook and stuff like that. And I'm talking about certified people, not just any old buddy. Somebody certified who might have been there and they seem like they're stable. Somebody that you can actually talk to.
Vetted.
Yeah. And that's a good thing to do before you go.
You gotta watch this cherries back.
So what I was saying is, it's good that you link up with people like us, people who are already somewhere, that maybe a YouTube channel you watch. Dang.
But like-minded people, and that's the point that he's making, is that you want to link up with like-minded people, also to shut out the noise of the people you talk to, who are, as far as I'm concerned, they're naysayers. They may be Debbie Downers.
Sure.
Change, when you're trying to make change, when you're trying to be productive, it's hard enough. Right? The motivation needed to get stuff done is difficult enough. Then somebody like, man, you too rigid. You gotta relax a little. You gotta party. You gotta, come drink this with us. Come out with us. Come do this with us. And while that is your friend and a family member, and they may have great intentions, the idea is we've done that and we haven't gotten any outcomes that we wanted with that. We got to do something different. And I do understand that doing something different requires work.
Yes.
And it requires consistency. It requires some discipline. It requires some sacrifice. And this is when we always talk about choices and trade-offs. Right? I'm going to trade a little bit of fun now for a great beneficial outcome later.
True. True.
And hey, Nerd Up Inc., thank you so much. She said you need water between the shots.
Who said that?
Great work.
Your water. Oh, I got a couple cherries here. Is that a little bit of water in the cherries? You doing the rest of
The
the time?
cherries keep him on top of it.
Yeah.
Keep him.
But and then once you get it in a place, like I said, do as much work as you can. Do as much work as you can. That way you can take back the research and you can look it over. And then you could, if you're trying out different places, then you can cross-reference it and see, okay, this place had this that I actually like. You know, this place, pretty much pros and cons list against each other, overlay. And that way you can pick your place. You can pick your choice. You can't pick the place that you want to stay. So, and that's a big deal because, you spent a lot of money. So let's do the research and make sure we get the right choice. We are a little different, and I wouldn't even suggest you to do this, but we have done it. We have gone places sight unseen, right? Have a conversation with somebody, watch some YouTube videos, like, yeah, feel good, feels cool, and we would just go. This is when we were a little bit younger. Our children were a little bit younger, and they were up for the travel. They thought it was an adventure. So we would go places and be like, oh man, this is a nice place. We stay there for sometimes we stay for 6 months, sometimes we stay for 12. It depends on how everybody liked it or if they wanted to move on. And so that was it was a good experience, just going from place to place. Some people like to do that. I watch YouTubers who just go from place to place. And it seems pretty cool, they're by themselves. So they can kind of do it. They have these small accommodations that I can't get, right? So it's fun to watch, but I can't do it personally. We need large accommodations. So that was always hard to find as you went from place to place, large accommodations for 6 people. And then not only for 6 people, then people start getting a little bit older. This one wants his own room. These guys got to share a room. Now everybody's taking up the rooms, right? When I really just want to do it like the Brady Bunch. You know how they did it? They put what was it? All the boys in one room, all the girls in another room. That's it. That's it. Y'all got to bunk up. That's what we used to call it in the military, bunk up. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool adventure. Even though sometimes it can be a little scary. You're like, oh man, I'm not really feeling this. But it's good, to like kind of, as Aaron would say, build new neural pathways. New situations that you've been in, neural pathway that you can reach back for when you do something new. And that is what I think is the fun part, is doing something new. Travel with intention and see where people go. You can see a lot of, because a lot of times it comes down to race, unfortunately. So because people want to go where they are comfortable and where they are treated best. Remember, that's one of the tenets of the flag theory. Go where you are treated best. And that means you treated best and your capital is treated best. So you got to merge that. You got to find that fine merge. So here's what I found out yesterday. Well, I ain't gonna go into that because it'll just divert. But go where you're treated best, and that's where taking the physical trips come in to help on the flag theory. That way you can see how you were treated, and you got to understand it's not fair, but it depends on who you are, what gender you are, and all this stuff. To where you can go and you'll be treated well. You can go some places and be treated not so well. So that you got to keep that in mind. You're not like somebody like might be treated well there who's the certain gender or a certain race, and then you're a different gender and race, and you might not be treated as well as that person. So you keep that in mind in your travels, and you got to understand. I know they romanticize Europe because we're not big fans of Europe because they don't treat black people well. I mean, that's just how it is. So I don't want to go to Europe. I've been to Europe, right? They treat me relatively well because I'm a big black man. But now I don't know how they would treat, a small black woman, in the countries that I was in. So you want to go where you're treated best. Like I said, not a fan of Germany or not a fan of Europe in general. So I'm more of a LATAM, South. South American. Now I do need to get to Africa. It's such a far flight for me. I don't really like to fly. Such a long flight from where I am, and so that's one of the things I have to work out and get over. I have to work that out with myself. Such a long flight. I probably should have went when I was younger, and I could tolerate that stuff. And now it's hard for me to fly, but maybe the kids could go. They would like it. I know a few people in Africa in different countries, and I know people who visited and documented. So if you can get over there, see what it's about, and see what's it about over there, and let me know. It's a huge place because people always just call it Africa, but there's 54 countries in Africa, and so you can go anywhere in Africa, and they're different nations. It's different in this one than it is in that one, and you could just try to fill them out. But that'd be a job, like I said, because there's 54 of them, and it's such a far flight. Spent some time in Argentina, a very beautiful place, a place of great artwork, and great artwork, and great things like history, things like that. So that's a beautiful place, and that's just the main city, Buenos Aires. But they have beautiful places outside of Buenos Aires, smaller towns, kind of like what she calls the brush, but just smaller towns outside of there, beautiful rolling mountains. So that is a place. But now their peso is taking a beat down. Now we told you last week, no, it might have been a couple weeks ago, that they are now about to start with a $10,000 peso note. They're going to put that into circulation coming soon because their highest note was 10,000. Is the highest note now. Their highest note was 1,000, and people had to have so many thousand peso notes on a daily basis just to go shopping and do the things that you need to do every day that they had to issue a 10x so that you can get these transactions through. And you know what a 10,000 peso note is worth in US dollars? $10. So that's how you know their currency is getting beaten down. So I would never recommend you start a bank account over there in your flag theory. But other than that, you could probably get, from what I looked at, reasonable accommodations. They have great food. They have great weather. The people are really nice to you. Now you still have that feeling out period because Argentina is right next to Brazil. So kind of trying to fill out if you are Brazilian, what are you, what are you? And then once they know that you are from the United States, okay, they're gonna treat you a little better now. And I don't like that, but hey, that's part of your privilege. So you might as well run with it if that's what they're giving you. Other than that, it's a great place. I didn't stay long enough to give you the full rundown, but it was a great place. Like I said, Colombia, Medellin, nice place, great weather, great food. Yeah, a lot of stuff is going on over there. I had a good time. But I wasn't there to have a good time. I was there to handle business about some real estate. So when I said I had a good time, I just mean by having good food. I was able to walk down the street and get these. They had these. Hold on, I'm show you. They had these 1 litro. So when I went over there, the dollar to peso was it was like 1,3700 to one, right? So 3,700 of the Colombian pesos equal $1. So I walked down the street to this little market, and they had these big. This back in the day when I still could drink beer, but I don't drink beer anymore. You get a liter of beer for 3,000 pesos, and I'm like, what? And it was this Argentine beer, and I can't remember the name of it. I know it had like a light blue label, and you get that. I say, man, that's less. I say that's less than $1. And like, I'm getting a big beer for less than $1. So that's what I said. I take it back to my room, and I had to do this research and stuff like that. And then I watched Netflix or something, and then call Aaron and then talk about what I did for the day. And it was nothing, just moving around intentionally, hitting the bank up. what do you call it, staking some money in the bank so that I had access to their credit system. Because, silly me, and it might happen to other people, that you thought your credit score from the United States mattered in Colombia, right? It didn't matter. What you had to do was stake money in their bank and then stake, talking about 6 months, don't touch it, leave it right there. And then they were willing to give you, 3 to 5 times that credit. And you could go ahead and try to buy some of those units they had for sale in Colombia, very reasonable priced units. So, that was an intentional trip looking at some real estate in Colombia. Now it's about 2015, 2016. I hadn't totally jumped off the ship of real estate yet. But, and I just knew it was going to be some problems. It was a little bit too many people involved in the process, considering what I'm used to in the United States. So I was like, well, you know, I wasn't comfortable with it, right? I didn't want to have to fly back and forth from where were we living at? I believe from Florida to Medellin, Colombia. It's not a bad flight, but like I said, I was getting to the point where I didn't like to fly anymore, so I didn't want to have to do that. So I kind of shut down. I mean, it was a trip that I got some information out of, and I learned, But like I said, it was an investment in the trip. You go to different places and you do this intentionally, and sometimes you just set up the whole thing before you go. So this is what I'm gonna be doing. I talked to so and so. I'm gonna be looking at this. They might show you around. If you really about it, they can show you around some different places to live, and they'll tell you a lot about the country. They'll give you a lot about the country. Colombia actually has a service that you can call and type of people meet you at the airport, take you to your Airbnb or your accommodations, and then that person is like your guide for the whole time you're there, right? They take you where they take you where you need to go because they know that, and then you can go ask them to take you kind of places you would like to see. But it's a guide service, and you're gonna pay a little bit for it. It's pricey. They're doing a job, so they got to get paid. It's a nice service. I've seen it. I've seen somebody use it, uh, and he got a great outcome from it. He got a great outcome, and I think he enjoyed it. He ended up coming back to move there with his family for 6 months. 6 months, and he used the same woman come get him from the airport. Took him to the place that he was staying, and he had the family and kids set up, and everything was ready. So that's a service that they do in Medellin, Colombia. That I know for sure. So do a little work on your intentional travel, and you'll get a lot out of it. Definitely get a lot out of it, and that's what we're here to do. Crit Work said, "Peace." All right, Crit Work, peace out. Nerve and peace, family. Oh, I see you guys are. Okay, I can't even see this comment. I'm sorry. We got the logo over it. I can't see the comment. I'm sorry. I'll read the comment when the next one pop down. Um, yeah, I'll read it when it comes down. And so, yeah. So, and like I said, it's summer. People like to travel in the summertime. And this is a great time to get that done. Get that done. And even in the resort areas, if you step outside the resort area, you can just see this is just a regular way they live. If you want to go out there and check that out, you got to have somebody with you, a guide. You can't be moving around out there like that. But outside the resort area, you don't really know anybody, and you kind of stick out. You stick out, not kind of. You stick out, so you can't just move around like that. It's always about safety. They'll tell you not to leave the resort. So it depends on who you are, what your level is, of being scared or you're adventurous. And this is the things we could be doing this summer. Like as Aaron said, quarter 2 will be ending, and quarter 3 will be starting on July 1st. So it's like you think about this stuff like like a basketball or football game, right? You just coming out, you got the first 2 quarters over. Now you're coming out at halftime, and you got like the rest of the game. So now it's time to get serious. In quarter 3, you got to start making your moves. In quarter 3, right? You like because you're on that backside, you're on the backside. You head at home. Start making your moves in quarter 3. Making your moves, pushing out, maybe stepping up the intensity of the things that you want to do and your goals and things like that. And then, because before you know it, it'll be quarter four, right? And quarter four is kind of short and truncated because of holiday season. Once you hit, shoot, I know companies from our own experience, like, you hitting the wall at November 15th. Isn't that right?
What?
I said, like, are we talking about quarter four? But I said it's truncated because, like, November, you starting to hit a wall by November 15th, right?
Yeah, because of the holidays.
Yeah. And so the holidays right there. So you hit a wall at the 15th. Yeah, so you got to be ready in quarter four. You got to really just be coasting on the back end and just coasting in the home quarter four because it's not a lot of time. Because of the holiday season, because they shorten it up for Thanksgiving, they bring it back, they go short it up for Christmas and the New Year. And before you know it, your quarters is over. Say that again.
I was just gonna give him a little tidbit.
Yeah, she gonna come with the tidbit.
I made your plate go back. So, for personal development, quarter four is actually the best quarter for you because for a lot of you, work slows down come Thanksgiving, through December, through January 1st. Sometimes people don't even come back till the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th of January. So you have almost a whole entire month to really power pack your way through to the 1st of January. So when we're talking about strategy, now business-wise, businesses hate quarter four because of that. Productivity slows down. Productivity really slows down for businesses around Halloween, right? Because everybody's getting ready. You got Veterans Day, Columbus Day, and then, before you know it, Thanksgiving's here. And before you know it, we're preparing for Christmas and people are taking off. People's children are off for 2-3 weeks. So they have to take off to be home with their children and so on and so forth. But for personal development, quarter four is the best. It lets you tie up all of your loose ends. It helps you to really reflect back. Let me go over quarter one, go over quarter two, go over quarter three, right? Because you do have to look in your rearview mirror from time to time to make sure, everything's copacetic, right? And then you can be like, all right, this is what I need to tie up. This is what I need. This is what I need to ice the cake. This is what I need to get me to. Other people utilize it if they had a kick-ass year. They had 4 kick-ass 12-week years. Well, 4 quarters, I should say. They had a great kick-ass 12-week year is what I should say. Mm-hmm. Then they utilized that whole period to get a head start on quarter one. Before January 1st even hits, boom, I done got this done. I done read my book. I done got this going. I done lost those 5 pounds before January even hits me. Because what you want to do, we're talking about building neural pathways, but your brain is a muscle. And the idea is that you're working your brain out to the point where these things become easier and easier. It never becomes easy. It becomes easier and easier to do. Mm-hmm. Anything that is a significant beneficial outcome requires work. There is going to be a friction there. There's going to be a resistance there for you to get that thing in which you want. That's why they call it convenience. There's no friction there. There's no resistance in order to get that thing that you want. That's why we get fat. That's why we get lazy. That's why we get stupid, right? Think about it, right? Like, can you get stupid? Yes, you absolutely can. Right, your brain starts to kind of relax a little. No new neural pathways are being made, and things that used to come to you easily don't come to you easily anymore. You can't do that math in your head anymore. You can't figure that thing out like you used to. Now you got to kind of use paper so you can see it because your brain is not used to doing the work, and you want to get used to your brain doing the work. That way you can make more decisive decisions. You can make more impactful decisions. You can go somewhere and in a truncated amount of time, come up with that idea like, yeah, I'm coming back and this is what we're doing.
Yes.
I gotta get back.
Okay. Yes, that was good. That was good how she slid in there. And that was a good angle to quarter four. That was great angle quarter four where you could really tie up loose ends and just ready to blow into quarter one of the new year. Was no drop off, right? No drop off. You just have your new set of goals and stuff ready, and you just hit it just get started, get smoking. You're way above everybody. You're way ahead of everybody, and that's the idea. Because if it's at work, or if it's something you do entrepreneurially, or if it's investing, whatever it may be, you want to be on top of your game. You always want to be on top of your game. You want to be, and when people see you, they're like, man, don't let them pull you back. Like, he be doing the most, man. Forget that. Yeah, you do. Yeah, do the most. Do the most you can. Be out there. Showing up. I ain't trying to say show up your coworkers or something like that, but be top. Be the top. Be the top of your class, so people see you, so you stand out. You might want to climb the corporate ladder. I don't know, or if it's just a promotion at your job. Talking about my blue collar, my brothers and sisters. Yeah, you might want to get a promotion from this level to the next level. The next level, I'm not sure the chain of command, but you see it in like the fire department. You might want to go from just being a firefighter to a lieutenant, right? And you work hard to do that. Then you might want to be a captain, and you have these end goals there. Like, okay, I got to work towards it, but you got to study because you got to test. So you got to study while everybody playing around and watching TV and stuff like that, and eating and getting fat. You're studying. You're studying. You know what I'm saying? If you on your health goals, man, you hitting the gym. You hitting the gym, and you for real. You hitting the gym for real, and you really are watching your diet. Whatever goal it may be, you could just run into quarter one full speed ahead. Don't even have to stop and think like, well, what should I do here? Nah, you don't stop and think. You just blow. You just blow in. And so that's also great for productivity, especially for go-getters out there. We love our go-getters. And but a lot of people don't. And like she said, a lot of people will hate on you for working so hard, right? And see you guys next time. Oh, great night. Good night. Good night. Oh, you guys, what time is it? What time is it out there in the East Coast, y'all?
8.
8 o'clock? Yeah, people go to bed early. Good night, Crickwork.
Bye. The last thing we're going to say, we're going to let you go because we're at the 57 mark, is anything that you get easily, you don't have value for because it came to you easily. Mm-hmm. When you go through all of the emotions that we're talking about, it's hard to squander some shit you had to work for. It is hard for you to make that impulsive decision after you spent all of that time climbing that mountain, dragging the little bit of wealth you have with you and trying to accumulate wealth along the way as you're climbing this mountain. It's hard for you to be impulsive with your money. It's hard for you to tear down an empire that you built when you took all of these painstaking efforts in order to get there. Yeah. And this is why we're telling you these things. A lot of people in this space think all I have to do is collect some Bitcoin, I'm good. Dollar cost average is shit. When I get it, take profits, go balling, go to Prime 112, go ahead and rent or lease this Lamborghini, pick up some chicks, yada, yada, yada.
That's what they do.
No, and no, right? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying if you took the time to understand that your wealth portfolio is a crucial aspect of your life portfolio,
yes,
we would think different. We wouldn't be so quick to transfer the wealth that we just sat and accumulated back to the people who want it in the first place. And we have to see things for what they really are. Mm-hmm. They keep pushing this glamour on you, this fabulousness, this fabulous life. Go buy like a real diamond necklace like this. No. Why? Right? You're going to give it to your daughter you don't have? Why? You want to give it to the wife that you haven't met yet? You understand what I'm saying? Or as a woman, it's just going to sit in your jewelry box. What are you going to do with it? Right? Take that wealth that you were going to do that thing with and do it with something else that's concrete, that's buildable, that can be expanded upon, that can be, visionary for your life, innovative for your life, that can be given to your children. Mm-hmm. Right? I know that we've seen movies where, Caucasians give their children their wedding ring that's worth $2.5 million. You done gave it to some woman who left you for some other guy. Now the damn ring is gone. You can't even get it back. Right? We have to see that those ways don't work, but we've been programmed because that's what they like to do. Whenever we watch movies, film, commercials, Anything they put across your screen that they are the architects of, in your subconscious, they want you to consume, 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 consume.
And can I say one thing about that, because that's interesting? We do not watch TV. So, I mean, we just don't watch TV. We'll read, we'll talk, we'll read about articles. She likes to write in her journals a lot.
I love my journals.
Yeah, so yesterday we went over to a friend's house to watch a basketball game, because I will come down and watch the basketball games with the kids. And
But we have a different app, so we don't have access to all those commercials.
Yeah, so he's watching it through a USA app. We don't have that. And I couldn't believe all the commercials that came on. I was like, dang, I never seen this. And like she said, everything that come across the screen is to
consume, buy this, drink that, do this, do that, yada yada yada. Right? There was one commercial that
I didn't really understand this, but I was really concerned about all the black men.
Yep, in all of these commercials.
Eating hamburgers.
What was that about?
I didn't know what
and
it
they
was
were different commercials. It's like almost every food commercial, black men were consuming hamburgers.
Some kind of huge hamburger. I'm talking about you got to open your mouth real wide.
Pause.
So I was concerned, like, why are these commercials on here? I mean, I get it.
I don't know, but I get it. Commercials, but the idea is they want the wealth transferred back to them, and they're programming you. Let me sit down so they can hear me in the microphone. They're programming you to build wealth to give it back to them. They're programming you to build the wealth for them. That's what the trick bag is. Mm-hmm. Build the wealth for us. Right? You do all of the hard work, and then we'll find ways to just transfer it back to us, like your cost of living, like your lifestyle. Oh, but your lifestyle is not good enough. You want to live like her, and she wants to live like her, and she wants to live like her. And all along the way, they're collecting their little bags of money, right? That's what social media is all about. Mm-hmm. It is the biggest dopamine trigger in order to find ways to get you to not feel enough, so that you will consume your way into enough, which you can't do. You know, that's a bottomless pit. That's an empty glass. In order to make the money for them, to do the work for them, right? Bad narratives, they get paid. Good narratives, the money isn't so freely flowing. This is why you don't see good narratives on the net. You don't see this on, you'll never come to our show and see 10.9 million views, right? Because there's no money to be made in us telling you how to manage your money in a way where you're not giving it back to them. There's no way they are going to promote any of that. If we were on here fussing and fighting, talking people's business, talking people's story, telling you what happened and this, that, and the third, then you would see our views. By next week, we will have 3,000 views. Week after that, it's 130,000 views. And you would see the exponential in the views when bad narratives, bad rhetoric, consumption, some type of obedience to them is promoted. Mm-hmm. Right? And we're here to tell our small family that we love so much, don't give them your money. We go through the pain of telling you all the effort we put into our lifestyle, the choices and trade-offs that come with it, because it would be so hard for us to now turn around and squander all of it, what we've built. It'd be so hard for us to turn around and just throw it all away. Anything easily gained, easily gotten, is easily lost. Easily squandered. Mm-hmm. Anything that you took time to kind of build and chisel away at, you make better decisions, more informed decisions, more strategic decisions, more impactful decisions. And I'm not saying you always make the right decisions. We make mistakes all the time. And we turn around and we look at those mistakes and we look at them like, oh, this is where we went wrong. Next time we should probably try this, or next time we shouldn't do that, yada, yada, yada. And we keep it pushing.
One thing with documentation is always something that is important. Documentation. That way you can look back on mistakes that you may have made. Yeah. And I'm talking about from an investment standpoint, but I have a low time preference. So to me, I don't see them as mistakes. I just see it as, we got it.
Misstep.
We got it a little high, it's cool. We'll wait it out, something like that. But for the most part, I haven't had that problem in a long time. You know, the documentation, I'm pretty good on what I'm looking at. I know what I'm looking at, and so you know, these things are what we want to try to strive to be. I
Oh,
asked
sorry.
like, yeah. So you know, anyway, it wasn't too much. I was wanting to get the last comment if I could, but then
I can't read it because
another one will pop up, and then I won't be able to
hold
get
on, let me
back.
hide it real quick. All right, just hide it.
I didn't know
It
that.
says they're certainly promoting sports betting heavily. Yeah, there's a lot of money in
Oh
sports.
man,
But that is the squandering of hella funds, isn't it? Muggs is out here sports betting. I see them on our timeline. $1,000, $2,000. And then I'm about to say it, and I'm saying people be on the timeline talking about car don't work, car down, car
yeah,
broken.
not
We don't
yet.
know how we're gonna pay the rent next month.
Yeah, not even like you know, it's at the shop. It's just down. I'm like, oh,
Right.
okay.
So just thinking that high time preference, let me flip 1,000 into 7,000. I don't know what their over and unders look like and stuff like that. So I'm just
And
making
so
up.
I'll go into that. Who is that?
Voice crypto.
With crypto because we're gonna do a show about neuroeconomics, and then there's a part in there. Yeah, there's a part in there that talks about sports betting, and you know the release of different like dopamine, things like that, dopamine neurons in the brain, and so people like get a high off of it. You know, I never really sports bet before in my life, but I see so many people doing it. My sons was even asking me about it the other day, and I said, "No, don't do it. Like, don't waste your money. They think it's fun, and now you really." I say, "Nah, man, not because the house always wins. House always wins, and you know, yeah, sports betting is big. It's big out there, especially as they legalize betting over different places. And since you can just do it online, you know, back when in the day when I used to go out and like different casinos and things, you had to bet at the casino if you want to sports bet. But now it's online. You can just put your money here and make your bet, and you know you either win or you lose. But I think it's high in dopamine if I remember correctly. But I have to go reread up on that. But yeah, we you know that's kind of stuff that eats your money away. Like she said, people on the timeline showing their ticket, showing everything you know, everything they picked and everything they chose to timeline to whole social media family. And then they come back and tell us they lost all their money. And then like later in the week, you know, they talking about, you know, some things that they loan on, they don't have money for. And he's like, man, you bet you lost a lot of money. Of course you don't have money for this or for that. But in their defense, these are lonely men. I know them personally. These are lonely men who live alone, don't have families, things like that to maybe I don't want to say take up their time, but you know, something they can focus on more on your family and things that your family needs and leading your family and being a visionary instead of being a guy over here at the sports betting thing. I got a friend, you know, I wouldn't put him on blast, but I don't talk to him much. You know, a good friend of mine growing up, but I just talk to him a few times a year. So I called him. I called him on Christmas. Call them on Christmas, you know, just say Merry Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas. Family doesn't celebrate it. I understand the rest of the world still does. So I call people and say, hey, Merry Christmas. I call and say Merry Christmas. And my man was at the he was at the casino betting. He had his tickets and everything. You know, they got all the TVs up there so you can watch all the games that you're betting on. And so, you know, I just say, hey, Merry Christmas, this, that, third. But I could see he was preoccupied with looking at the TVs and stuff. I said, all right, man, I'll call you. I'll call you again, man. I'll check in with you a little bit later. You know, didn't want to mess up what he had going on. And then next, you know, his birthday happens to be on 31st of December. So I called him back, you know, just on his birthday. You know, and I'm like, hey man, what's up? How you doing? He at the casino betting. I'm like, so last time, so 2 times I talked to you, and within a week you're at the casino betting. And you know, to me that's sad. You know, it's like Aaron has a metaphysical thing about New Year's Eve. You want to be with the people. You want to bring the new year in with the people that you're going to spend the year with, and so and it gives it positive energy if you do that. not at the club, not doing this, doing that, not I guess not at the casino gambling. And people have family, they have children that they could actually be spending that time with instead of there at the casino. And I'm just saying, I'm just going off of what uh, Voice Crypto said about sports gambling. It's dangerous, and especially the lonely people. It's there. It's something to do. It's something to do. Somebody with a family knows I can't go trick off $200 on some basketball game, right? What did that get done? And that didn't get anything done for the family budget. You're thinking, well, if I win, then I'll have $400 or something like that. But it's man, this is it. I don't know. I'm gonna talk about it in the next. In one of them, she said Friday or something. So I might talk about it in that one. Let me see. I say yes. Okay, boy, I can't read. I need my readers, y'all. Yeah, so yeah, you gotta be careful with that sports gambling because it can turn to addiction from fairly quickly from what I read. So that is something that could take people's money down,
And will.
and so nobody really wins. And when you do win, they can shut you down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, please, man, please pass on sports betting.
All right, y'all, we're going to wrap this up. On Wednesday, BK Crypto and his crypto educational group from Brooklyn is going to be on our show. We want to talk to the cousins about the fantastical things that they're doing, like on foot, physical social networking, physical work, physical
In the streets.
resources, education, healing, all of the great things that they are doing with the squad. We want to introduce you to them. They are our cousins. So I do want to introduce them like a great family reunion, which is Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday at 7, we're definitely going to start with the neuroeconomics. I'm sure it's going to be more than one show. You guys definitely want to tune in. Um, it's also something if you guys are homeschooling, have children, so on and so forth, that's definitely a show you would like for them to sit in on as well or share with people that you know could benefit from it. I need to feed my baby. His food's going to get cold.
Okay.
I didn't do all that work for him to eat cold food. So we are going to see you guys on Wednesday at 7 p.m. ish. I gotta do like the gentleman, right? Because y'all be getting the notifications at like 7:10 and stuff like that. But we'll definitely see you then. We love y'all.
Love you.